we begin, I want to acknowledge that this video may be deeply frustrating to hear. If you are a stalking victim, the information we're about to discuss may feel overwhelming, unfair, and even hopeless at times. We're not here to discourage you. We're here to prepare you. The reality is, finding your stalker's criminal record is not easy. Every state, every county, and every jurisdiction operates under different rules, many of which make it as difficult as possible for victims to access public information. The system isn't built to help you. It's built for bureaucracy. That being said, knowledge is power. Understanding what you're up against is the first step in fighting back. If at any point this video feels like too much, take a break. Take care of yourself. We've included mental health resources and self-care videos in the description below. Now, let's get into it. The moment you realize you're being stalked, one of the first things you need to do is track down your stalker's criminal history. There is a very real chance they have prior charges. Stalking is rarely an isolated behavior, even if they haven't been convicted. Past protection orders, arrests, or violent incidents can show a clear pattern. These records aren't just for you. They help law enforcement, prosecutors, and even the people in your life understand that the threat is real. Too many victims wait too long to dig into their stalker's past, only to find a history of extreme violence. We cannot stress this enough. Do not wait. The sooner you have proof, the sooner people will take your situation seriously. But I need to tell you this up front. This is going to be frustrating, time-consuming, and often expensive. Many people assume they can just search their stalker's name online and instantly see their entire criminal history. That's not how it works. Every state and every county has its own rules. Some records are easy to access, but only if you're willing to pay. Others are buried so deep in bureaucracy that even law enforcement won't check them unless you are standing in their office. And worst of all, some records, even active warrants, may not be searchable at all. So today, I'm going to walk you through the reality of tracking down criminal records. What works, what doesn't, and what you need to be prepared for. Let's start with why this is so hard in the first place. First, every state and county operates differently. Some states, like Florida and Texas, allow anyone to look up court dockets online, while others, like Pennsylvania and California, require in-person requests or restrict access to attorneys. If your stalker has a history in multiple states, this means you may need to search separately for each jurisdiction, which can be expensive and time-consuming. Second, law enforcement often won't check for warrants unless you provide key details. Many sheriff's departments will not search their warrant system unless you provide a date of birth. If you don't have it, they may refuse to check entirely. If you can't find this information, try searching for past court records first. Sometimes, a case file will include a date of birth that you can use to get more records later. Third, background check websites like People Finder and Instant Checkmate. Not reliable. They pull outdated or incomplete information and charge you for reports that often tell you nothing useful. Oftentimes, they don't even include a date of birth. Instead of wasting time and money on these unreliable sites, try official state and county court portals, sheriff's department websites, and Department of Corrections inmate searches. While not every case will show up, these sources are far more accurate than background check websites that often give outdated or incomplete data. So, if you want real answers, you have to go straight to the source. Even though the system is broken, there are still ways to get answers. Before you begin searching, start by gathering as much identifying information as possible. Full name, date of birth, any past addresses, and known locations of prior arrests or court cases. Having this information up front will save time and make it easier to get results when calling law enforcement or searching public databases. Start with what's free. Check your state's inmate lookup databases, Sheriff's Department warrant search pages, and court record portals. Call with confidence. Many county clerks and sheriff's offices will check for warrants if you sound like you already have details. Instead of asking, "Does John Smith have a warrant?" say, "I need to verify an active warrant on John Smith. He was last known in this county and state, and I believe the charges may have been filed around a certain date." Prepare to pay. Some counties charge per page for criminal records, and fees can range from $10 to $100 just to access case files. If your stalker has an extensive criminal history, this can add up quick. The fees alone can make it difficult for victims to access the full criminal history of their stalker. If fees are a barrier, consider requesting just the case docket first. This document lists all major legal events in a case and is often available for free. Dockets can tell you if a case resulted in a conviction, was dismissed, or if there were past protection orders filed against your stalker. If a county won't give you information, go up the chain. If the clerk refuses to release records, ask who has access. Sometimes district attorneys or public defenders can pull records more easily. You can also check news archives. Some criminal cases never make it into online records, but local newspapers may have reported on past arrests or charges. Look into civil court cases. Even if you can't find criminal records, restraining orders, past lawsuits, and protection orders can give you insight into their history if police won't help. Create pressure. Law enforcement may brush off a single request, but if you document every attempt to get information, who you spoke to, when, and what they told you, it creates a paper trail. If your stalker later commits a crime against you, those ignored warnings become evidence of negligence on the part of the system. Keep records of every call, email, or visit to law enforcement, because at some point, they may be forced to take action. If you suspect your stalker has active warrants, document everything and push the system. Call multiple times. Request case numbers. Keep records of every interaction with law enforcement. This process is exhausting, and it is so much to ask of victims, especially when they are already in survival mode. But the more you know, the more power you have. Even if the system makes it difficult, even if you have to fight for every piece of information, you deserve to know the truth. You deserve to have access to the records that could protect you. No one should have to fly across the country just to access life-saving information. No one should have to fight this hard just to be taken seriously. But until the system changes, we keep fighting, because no one is going to do this for you. You are an army of one, but if you do the work, if you search, if you document, if you push hard enough, you can get answers. You can come out of this victorious. If this video helped you, subscribe and check out our full Stalking Survivor Handbook for more guides on how to protect yourself and fight for your safety, because you deserve more than survival. You deserve justice.